Morning, Dorsey.
Morning, sir.
Anything happening?
Jehovah's and Dietrich went out on a robbery call.
Everything going okay with you?
Pretty good.
No problems?
Why? Did someone say something?
No.
I bought him my toaster. You guys didn't have one.
Right.
Breakfast is your most important meal.
Let's get inside, Serrano. All right.
Morning. Breakfast ready?
Here you go, would you?
Gerald Serrano. Try to stick up a liquor store over in Lexington?
Hey, come on, you guys, you gotta give me a break. I'm a veteran.
Of what?
United States Air Force. I was in Vietnam. You know, Asia?
Right.
Yeah, you see, that's why I rob places. I need the excitement that I had over there.
Just have a seat.
Vietnam syndrome.
Yeah, see, he knows.
If you're interested, it's a recently diagnosed disorder of some vets who, because of their exposure to violence and danger in Vietnam, seem to have a psychological need for it in civilian life.
Yeah, see what I'm telling you? I'm still all keyed up from seeing all that action over
Well,
there.
you'll have plenty of time to relax, Mr. Serrano, while we book you. Have a
No,
seat,
but I'm
Mr.
telling
Down,
you,
Serrano.
you don't understand. I'm not responsible.
Sit down before we blow your head off. Just want him to be comfortable.
Good morning, people. Morning, morning, Herb.
Morning.
Hey. Morning, Ron.
Hey, Woods, how are you?
All right.
Where's my tea?
Oh, that was yours.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
About what?
Well, there was only one tea bag left, and the tannic gas in the tea's no good for you anyway. So I threw it away.
Well, thank you.
12 Precinct, Dorsey. Uh-huh. Got it. Captain, there's a disturbance in an apartment building on Houston Street.
You're on with Harris.
Let's go, partner. You don't mind if I finish this off in the car, do you?
Oh, please do. We'll talk later.
Okay, I need the name of your last employer. United States Air Force. I haven't had a steady job since then. You went over there too, huh? Yeah, I was. How about a break for a fellow vet, huh?
Got any distinguishing marks or scars?
No, none. Well, except for the rash in the back of my neck.
Rash.
Yeah, from the dioxin.
Dioxin.
It's the stuff in Agent Orange. I was an Operation Ranch hand. We dropped that junk over half the country. You know, to get rid of the ground cover.
Yeah, I heard of that.
I remember we used to load up about 5,000 gallons, you know, go up about 150 feet, drop it. Just sort of like float down. A big white cloud, settle over the whole jungle. Oh, it's very pretty.
You still got this rash?
Yeah, rash. I got rash, I got numbness, I got tingling, I got liver damage, I got abdominal tumors.
Would you go to the VA?
Yeah, I went to the VA. I put in a claim 2 years ago. They said, forget it.
Let's finish up this report.
Surprised you don't know more about it, being you were over there and all.
Well, see, where I was, they didn't use it.
Oh, yeah? Where were you?
I-Corps, Oshaw Valley.
Ah. We got you, too.
Mother, get him to go lock me up.
Twice, please, Harry. I know. If you gave it a chance, you'd learn to love it.
Don't talk to me.
See, she's always like that. She is always like that.
Don't talk to me either.
Mrs. Brower.
Oh, Captain, please, you talk to him. He listens to you.
No, I don't listen to him.
Hold on. What's going on?
Well, we went into this building, and this bozo here is running down...
Brower.
Right, anyway, the bozo's running down the hall, naked as a jaybird. She's running after him, screaming at him to put on his robe.
My wife has been under a great strain recently, that's all.
Anyway, we got him to go back into the apartment and made him put some clothes on.
Captain, I hate these. They obscure your essence.
Oh, don't listen to him, Captain. He's just imitating the others.
What others?
Well, everybody else in the building is also naked.
People going in and out of elevators, 2 old ladies just sitting in the lobby. I almost tossed my waffle.
I don't get it. What's going on?
Well, Barn, the apartment building has gone nudist.
And I was worried about condos. Show him the letter.
Oh, Mrs. Brower says that last month she got this from the owner of the building.
Did you have those the last time?
Yes. Dear tenant, this is to notify you that as of Monday, October 1, all common areas of the apartment complex, lobby, hallways, recreation, laundry rooms, interior courtyard, will become clothing optional areas. Nudism is a healthful and vibrant way of life. I hope you will join us. Grin and bear it.
See how he spelled bear? B-A-R-E?
He bought the building in September, and ever since then he's been moving in his disgusting naked friends.
I take it you're pressing charges against Mr. Brower?
It's the only thing he understands.
All right. Brower, if you'll have a seat over here.
Yeah. I know the
Mrs.
procedure.
Brower, this way. Harris, you want to contact Mr. Fulton? Have him come down?
As is?
Yeah, I finished questioning Serrano. I'm going to go down and check him for priors.
Fine.
You know something? He told me that when he was in the Air Force, that he got exposed to that herbicide, Agent Orange. Now he's got like 50 different things wrong with him.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And a lot of guys got exposed to this stuff and no one ever even told them it might be dangerous.
I read about that.
Think somebody'd be doing something about it.
Well, I'm sure someone is.
Right. The more you just stop and think about it, what really happened, get you a little angry.
Uh-huh.
But, take it easy.
Harriet, they're locking me up now. Now, are you happy?
Ecstatic.
Listen, you keep this up, I'll be in prison soon.
Good.
You know what happens in prison, Harriet? Homosexual rape.
That's your privilege.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm Peter Rankin, Thresher Chemical.
Len McCready, Veterans Administration.
Ah, I'm Captain Miller. What can I do for you?
Nothing.
You called us.
We did?
Well, someone here called my office.
Sergeant Wojciechowicz. Does that sound familiar?
Vaguely.
He asked me to come down, said some sort of crime had been committed concerning our 24D and 245T, but he didn't elaborate.
24D. I take it that's Agent Orange?
Of course.
That's the same thing he told us.
So what seems to be the problem?
Hey, Barney.
Oh, Wojo. The gentleman you contacted from the VA and the chemical company out here.
Where's the Air Force?
What the hell are you doing?
Conducting a normal investigation.
Of what?
A crime.
That crime happens to be armed robbery, which has nothing to do with chemical companies or the VA or the Air Force.
Okay, why don't we just wait a minute? Serrano was exposed to Agent Orange. We don't know how it affected him, but it could have been a factor in that crime. So it seems to me that it's relevant to question the people that might be responsible for it.
I'm surprised you don't have Nixon down here.
He wasn't home. Barn, you're the one that's talking all the time about covering all the bases, being thorough, extenuating circumstances. That's all I'm doing.
Well, what's next on your agenda?
I just want to get statements from them. You know, I want to find out who was doing what.
Okay.
Thank you.
But no arrests.
Oh, no. Still early for that.
Captain, my time is not totally worthless.
What's going on here?
Wojo?
All right, Mr. Serrano here, we picked him up on a felony charge. So he was exposed to your Agent Orange in Vietnam, and he didn't get treatment from the VA. So we're just trying to determine if that could be a contributing factor.
You're kidding.
No, we're not.
If Mr. Serrano thinks he has symptoms of Agent Orange exposure, we're more than eager to examine him. But any criminal activity on his part has nothing to do with the VA.
Okay, maybe not. You know, I just want to get that on the record. Unless one of you guys has a reason to not have this looked into?
Of course not. Our 245T is a totally safe and responsible product.
Well, then you don't mind answering a few questions?
Fine.
Okay. Mr. Rankin, want to sit here? Mr. McCready, you can sit right here.
You people do this sort of thing often?
I do.
I'm Captain Ronald Dupree.
Right over here.
What are those?
I'm on downers.
Since when?
Since you started running around like Kunta Kinte.
Harriet, listen, I'm doing this for you, too.
Small thanks for little favors.
That's right, Harry. Keep punching. Keep punching.
And according to this university study, 3,800 deaths from cancer would be normally expected to occur in a group the size and age of that stationed in Vietnam during this period. Thus, until and unless the actual mortality rate exceeds that of the expected norm, there is really no concrete evidence of a correlation between Agent Orange exposure and these veterans' subsequent illnesses.
That may be true, but there was another study at the University of Illinois Medical Center which found that in veterans who had been exposed to Agent Orange, there was an unusually high incidence of a particular type of autoimmune antibodies formed against the body's own cells. Antibodies associated with the liver disease diagnosed in many Agent Orange victims.
Who are you?
Just a stranger passing through.
I'm looking for Sergeant Harris.
Yeah?
I'm John Fulton. We spoke on the phone.
It's Mr. Nature.
You said you had a little difficulty?
Yeah, I'll see if Captain Miller's available. Just make yourself comfortable there, huh? Within reason.
We missed you at the barbecue.
I didn't think you'd notice.
Fulton, I'm Captain Miller.
What seems to be the problem?
Problem is, Mrs. Brower here is lodging a complaint against you concerning the activities in your building.
You mean my encouragement of the full and unfettered expression of the human spirit?
Yeah, that and the fact that you got a lot of people running around naked.
Captain, regardless of general opinion, nudists aren't a bunch of exhibitionists who like to play volleyball in the woods. We're just ordinary, law-abiding citizens who happen to feel that the wearing of clothing has nothing to do with modesty or morality.
It also has nothing to do with the issue at hand.
Look, I took the liberty to bring along our newsletter, the New York Sunbathing Association.
Mr. Fulton...
I'm the outgoing president.
No kidding.
If you'll just take a moment to glance through here, you'll see that we're a serious organization with very worthwhile goals.
Look, Mr. Fulton, I have no reason to doubt your sincerity or that of your organization, but the fact is that Mrs. Brower here is entitled not to be offended. You're going to have to work something out.
I've tried. I've bent over backwards to satisfy her.
You're disgusting.
Hey, loosen up, lady.
All right.
So, exactly how much Agent Orange was used over there?
All right. From 62 to 71, we must have sprayed about 10.5 million gallons.
That's all?
Well, I know it does sound like a lot. And it is.
According to Mr. Serrano, when they mixed the stuff, they just wore T-shirts. Said they never wore masks or gloves.
Well, it was hot.
Harriet, come here.
Yes?
Harriet, our marriage is in serious trouble.
I came over for that.
I think that you will give us a chance to save it. I think it'll put some bounce in our relationship.
Bill, you got enough bounce for the two of us.
Harriet, you're a sick, frightened woman.
Sure. Because I'm married to you.
Why can't you give it a chance?
Bill.
What?
Why aren't I enough?
What do you mean?
You're always looking for something else, something out there. What's wrong with just the two of us?
That's what I'm talking about.
You really believe that if I take off my clothes, that's what we need? That it's going to make everything beautiful?
It's a start.
Okay, if that's what you think we need. I'll be right back.
Well, where are you going?
I'm going to make you happy.
If, after our research and the Air Force's study, we determine that the cause of the problem is Agent Orange, we will, of course, approve the disability claim. And we'll do everything that we can to rectify the situation.
Okay. All right. Then now what about you? I mean, what's your company going to do if that's the case?
Sergeant, that's really a hypothetical question, as we are 100% sure that our product is not the culprit here. But if it is, it's still not our fault.
There he goes.
We delivered a safe, effective product when administered responsibly, but the military ignored all safeguards. They mixed it too strong, they sprayed it helter-skelter, they did not follow directions.
Now listen, if that stuff was so safe, how come the EPA banned it?
Sure, throw that in my face. Moreover, even if this did cause the problem, it could have been minimized if prompt action had been taken by the Veterans Administration.
We're doing something now.
Yeah, well, it's a little late.
You should have been treating this problem 5 years ago.
So sue me.
We are!
Good luck, Jack. Three clowns want to shut up for a minute.
Well, there's no need to get personal, Sergeant.
It is personal.
Oh, Joe.
I was over there myself. Now, I don't know for sure if I got exposed to Agent Orange. But I know that When I think if I back when I had a headache, or a tingling in my arm, or some trouble in bed, I start to wonder.
Sergeant, that really can't be considered our fault.
I don't care anymore whose fault it is, or who did what, or who's suing who. Mr. Serrano and me would like to know what the stuff did and what it's going to do, right?
I just wanted a lawyer.
Well,
We just don't know.
what do you mean you just don't know?
We really just don't know. Really?
Sergeant, after the tests and the studies are complete, we'll hopefully have something more to go on. But until that time, we're all just going to have to wait and see.
Great.
So, there's nothing else you'll need.
No. Look, I appreciate you guys coming down here today.
Of course.
See ya.
Listen. Here's my number. Listen, we really do want to help anybody that might have a problem with this.
Thank you.
Believe me, Sergeant, the odds are that none of those things you mentioned before are due to exposure to Agent Orange.
Sure, it could have been Agent Purple.
Purple.
Just forget I mentioned it.
Purple? I'll fill you in later.
Hurry! You don't know what you're doing. For God's sake, this is a police station.
No.
So they have guns.
Look, Mrs. Brower, as a personal favor to a guy who's got his whole career ahead of him, why don't you just put on your clothes and come out?
Excuse me. Pardon me? Come on out, Mrs. Brower. Fun's over.
What the hell was that all about?
Just making a point.
Boy, you certainly had a lot of people worried out here, Harriet. And a little excited, too.
Without dropping a stitch.
Okay, Mr. Brower, here's your desk appearance ticket. If you'll just sign for your valuables right down there. Mr. Fulton, this is a misdemeanor citation for creating a public nuisance. Now, if you don't want to get some more of those, I'd suggest that you and your tenants keep your pants on. In the lobby, on the roof, and in all areas visible to the general public. Understood?
Yes.
Great. You're all free to go.
Oh, Sergeant, thank you so
Sure.
much.
Take care.
Okay.
So you knew the whole time she had her clothes on?
Oh, yeah.
And you just let me stand there like a jerk. Hi, guys.
Hey, Dorsey.
Dorsey. You want some coffee, Dorsey?
Yeah, thanks.
A little late this morning, huh?
Yeah, I would have been here on time, but I kept getting extra cities.
Right.
You play too.
What?
Missile Command. Video game, it's in all the arcades.
Oh, no, I try not to hang around those places.
Oh, you should try it. I mean, you got this big TV screen, your controls, you got all these atomic bombs coming down that you got to intercept before they blow up your cities. It's a lot of fun.
What cities?
I don't know, they don't specify.
Well, then who's bombing them?
I don't know, what difference does it make? I mean, it's just a stupid game.
Well, it just seems to me that the whole idea of of getting your kicks playing around with nuclear holocaust. It's kind of warped.
I don't have to talk to you.
Okay.
So you arrange his finish.
Yeah.
Kiss him goodbye.
Good morning.
Morning, Ken.
Morning.
Hey, Barn.
Hey, Barn.
Oh, Dietrich, don't forget to get started on those crime statistics, right?
I finished them.
Huh?
I broke down 1980 into crime and category, just like you asked. Also worked up a statistical analysis of the last 5 years. Indicates the percentage increase or decrease in each category. Plus projected crime rates for 1981. High crime areas, weather-related crimes. I think this will be a big help for you in your budget and manpower requirements for the next 12 months or so.
You did all this already?
Did it on a weekend.
Ah. Well, I hope we didn't put a crimp in your social life.
No, I don't have a social life.
You giving up girls?
Yeah. I just decided to put unnecessary things like women and sex on hold for the next year or two.
Oh, would that be the new celibacy?
You familiar with it?
No, not firsthand, but I have read about it.
A lot of people, including myself, just feel that abstinence has a purifying effect on your mind and spirit. Allows you to redirect your energy to more productive and meaningful activities.
Well, if this is the result, I'm all for it.
Thank you. Did your windows?
12th Precinct, Sergeant Harris. Yep, right. We're on our way. Barn, that was the Butler Hotel. They got a disturbance over there in the bar. It's hooker-related.
Ah, you and Dorsey.
Okay. Let's go, Dorsey. It's you and me.
Right. Hey, as long as we're going out, does anybody want us to bring something back?
No, nothing for me, thanks. So far, so good.
Make yourselves
honey.
comfortable.
I'm
All right,
moving it.
keep on. Just keep coming in. Come on in here.
I was just looking to have a good time. What, there's a law against that?
Yes.
Oh.
Right, get in here.
All right, what do we got?
This is our disturbance, Barney. Mr. Ray Athens.
Mr. Athens?
What?
And this is the object of his affection and ire, Miss Christine Scott.
Captain Miller.
It's a pleasure.
And meet Lenore Dubois. She just came along for the ride.
Look, sugar, I was just minding my own business.
That's why you're here.
What's the story?
Well, according to the bartender, Barn, Mr. Athens here approached Miss Scott in the lounge and made some subtle inquiry in regard to having his brakes relined.
An auto supply. We say things like that.
Anyway, Miss Scott here rebuffed his offer, at which point he flew into a gin-induced rage.
She told me she was booked up, that I had to call, make an appointment. I get that from dentists.
We had this on her when we picked her up, Barn. You know, standard call girl issue.
It's just a phone book.
Oh, yeah, right. Phone numbers, addresses, names, prices, idiosyncrasies.
Everybody has them.
Aaron? Check this one out. Prefers black lace and garter belts. Musk oil and creme de menthe. Austrian peasant garb. Must yodel.
Who am I to judge?
All right, Miss Scott. Sergeant Harris will need some more information from you.
You want to take a seat right over here?
Captain, my book.
I'm afraid we're going to have to hold this now for evidence.
That's okay. I've got it on microfilm.
Right? Sure. I mean, I couldn't get a lousy 5 minutes, but for somebody else, she does Sound of Music.
Dietrich? What now?
You can take care of Miss Dubois?
Yeah, I think I can handle that. Over here, Mama.
Okay, boys.
That's it. Let's keep it hostile.
Hey, come on. I was just going in there for cigarettes.
You shouldn't be smoking either.
What do you got here?
Rhonda Halleck picked her up in the barn.
What charge?
Same as the others.
How old is she?
15 and a half.
This bubblegum bimbo's trying to grease the bartender so he'd let her hang out and do some business. He called us over just to get her out of his hair.
What a jerk. Can't even make a decent daiquiri. Well, it's what I heard.
Aren't you a little young for this line of work?
You got something against junior achievement?
The preliminary called juvenile.
Yes, sir. Over here, Lolita.
What do you got in mind, cowboy? A little rough stuff?
Sit down.
Sergeant?
Thank you. May I?
Sure.
Gold, yes?
Yes.
You know, I've been thinking about indulging myself in one of these, but I'm always afraid I'm going to lose it.
I can't tell you how many of these I've lost. But I just keep getting more.
Okay. As soon as we get a little information here, you can make your, Just dial 9 first.
You know, every time you cops drag me in here, I gotta work the streets twice as hard just to make up for it.
Yeah, I got my own problems.
Last time when I couldn't make bail, I missed the whole damn Democratic convention.
Yeah, they asked about you.
What are you, funny?
I used to be.
Yes, Phil, I realize it dilutes the portfolio. That doesn't matter. I don't care what you have to sell. I want that stock. Believe me, this information comes straight from the top. Right. 2,000 shares first thing in the morning. Thanks.
So you got a hot stock?
I think so.
You know, the way you were talking sounded like you'd gotten the scoop on another Genentech. Of course, nothing's that hot, huh?
I'm dumping my Genentech to get this.
What? I mean, what?
I'm sorry, I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, of course you are.
No, I'm afraid I'm not.
Okay. So why don't you just point to it?
You got a girlfriend?
No,
You gay?
I don't get another choice.
No. It's just that there's this guy at the place that I'm staying that's kind of cute, too. But he's gay.
I'm not.
Good. So, you ever make it with a 16-year-old?
Once, when I was 16. Wait right there.
Yeah.
Captain? I finished writing up Halleck. She lives at a place called Rainbow House, sort of a combination group home, crash pad. I got the guy who runs it, Mr. Gower, coming down. But in the meantime, I'm going to do a little checking on the place.
I know we see that sort of thing all the time, but it still gets to you.
Right.
I mean, you strip away that outfit and that loud mouth, you probably find a lovely, fragile, frightened little girl.
Sure. It's what guys your age are paying for.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, hold on a second, will you? Harris.
Yeah.
The deputy commissioner's office would like to verify that we're holding Miss Scott.
Oh, is that Maury?
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 Yes, Your Honor, I've got it right in front of me. Matter of fact, I'm going through it right now. Yes, quite legible. No, I haven't reached the K's yet. Yes, Judge Kemp, I'm sure it would be a tragedy if it fell into the wrong hands. Matter of fact, I've never been to Nassau. I'm sure it is lovely this time of year. Well, I'll have to check my schedule. I'll do that. Yes, Your Honor. Bye-bye.
Ron, a few more calls came in while you were on the phone. It's a couple from City Hall, a senator's aide, and the UN. I think you may be addressing the General Assembly.
All interested in this?
Everyone expressed his genuine concern.
No doubt about that. This thing reads like the who's who in business and politics.
Oh, anyone I know?
Him?
Well, I guess that's one way to negotiate a lasting peace.
Is this your ball?
Yeah.
Did you forge all these names yourself?
No.
My old man took me to a ball game once when I was a kid. I think we saw the Mets and the Cubs.
Oh, yeah, that's always a good game.
And he got me a little pennant, hot dog and a beer. Really great seats.
Well, sounds like your dad was a nice guy.
It was a mugger. Some guy who rolled had season tickets. Halfway through the game, a cop showed up, dragged us both out of the stadium.
Oh.
You want to hear what happened to the puppy I got for Christmas?
It's a new fragrance for me. Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like it? Come on, be honest.
Want to get your stinking hand out of my face?
Hey, kid. You got anything to chew on? Gum, mints, tetracycline?
Sorry, I'm all out.
It's okay. Tell you, it ain't getting any easier.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, between the sweet young things like you running around and Princess Grace over there, the demand for your basic black chick just ain't what it used to be.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Hey, honey, you may be hot stuff now, but you get a few pounds and a few wrinkles on them bones, and they ain't exactly gonna be lining up for your hips either.
Hey, don't worry about me, okay? Worry about yourself.
Sugar, it's the same thing.
Rhonda,
Hi, Mr. Gower.
what on earth are you doing here?
They picked me up for Felicity.
Malcolm Gower.
Yes,
I'm Sergeant Darcy.
Yes, Sergeant, I hear there's been a small misunderstanding between Rhonda here and yourself in regard to her charity work.
What charity work she was hooking?
Now, is that any way to get change for Jerry's kids?
Sir, I appreciate the fact that congressmen have the same urges as normal people. No, sir, believe me, I have no intention of releasing it to the press. You're perfectly welcome. Yeah. God bless you, too.
Mr. Gower, the guy from Rainbow House, is here.
Mr. Gower, I'm Captain Miller.
Ah, have you hugged your kid today?
Beg your pardon?
Just a little motto we have over at the Rainbow House, completely apolitical.
Very nice.
Now, Captain, I realize that you gentlemen are very busy. So, if you'll just allow me to take Rhonda home, I'm sure that one good self-help session with the other children will set her back on the straight and narrow in no time.
I'm certain it will, but if you don't mind, Mr. Gower, we'd appreciate just a little more information about Rainbow House.
Ah, well, we're strictly a non-profit organization.
Who's we?
Oh, I am. Yes, we get most of our funding from the private sector. Various civic groups, concerned individuals like me, lovers of children, all.
And what do you do with this money?
Oh, every penny of it goes to the maintenance of the house and the welfare of the children, feeding them, providing them a place to sleep, clothes to wear.
You bought me this.
It was on sale.
Mr. Gower, how long has Miss Halleck been with you?
Why, Rhonda came to us just last month. Yes, the first time I saw her, she was a wretched sight. Dirty, shivering, her cheeks flushed with the cold. Her delicate body braced against the elements, the wind whistling across the edges of her torn, tattered, tight jeans. Oh, I do go on about the weather, don't I?
Sir, I came across some interesting tidbits you might want to take a glance at. I pulled 14 names out of Vice files, minors with solicitation busts. All were residents of Rainbow House.
Would you care to offer an explanation for this, Mr. Gower?
Kids.
Mr. Gower, are you a pimp?
No, I certainly am not. I make no demands of my children. I ask no favors of them, and I pass no judgments. I provide them with a clean, safe place to live with no booze or drugs. I've seen some of them through school, and I've even sent some of them back to their parents. Now, your little list wouldn't show that, now would it?
Miss Halleck, has Mr. Gower here ever suggested that you or anyone else commit an act of prostitution?
No.
Well, I take it then that I'm free to go.
Yes, Mr. Gower, you're free to go.
Will Rhonda be joining me?
Afraid not. She's going to be sent to Children's Center, along with a report for the juvenile authorities in which you will be prominently mentioned.
Fine. Goodbye, Captain. Sergeant. Bye, Rhonda.
Listen, thanks for the place to live and everything.
We enjoyed having you with us.
Oh, one more thing. Maybe you think you're walking out of here with your little plate plan intact, but off the record, I'm going to be watching you. I might even drop in every now and then, unannounced. You know what I mean? Make one mistake. Give me as much as impure thought, and I'll be on you like ugly on an ape.
I get a lot of that.
Here you go, Christine. 2 sweet and lows.
Oh, you found some.
Yeah, luckily we have a diabetic downstairs. He'll never miss it.
Thanks.
So, you, comfortable?
Yes, very.
Good. You can tell me about the stock. Hey, I let you use the phone.
Look, Sergeant, it's not that I have anything against you. It's just that any inside information I might gather due to my relationship with the client is privileged communication, and I simply won't discuss it any further.
You're under arrest. You know that.
I got bail tickets for Athens, Raymond, Scott, Christine.
That's me.
No kidding. If you lose this one, there's about 15 more pending.
Hey, can I have one of those?
They're not transferable.
Looks like we're gonna be here all night.
I'm gonna suck on my tie now.
Why aren't you in school?
Why aren't you taller?
Okay, let's go.
It's about time.
A little antsy to get back into business?
Yeah, you gonna try and stop me?
No.
Oh.
Let's go.
Look. I know you came down hard on Gower mostly because of me. And I just want to say that even though you're a cop, on top of being a pretty weird person in general, I still think what you did was pretty nice.
Thanks.
So, maybe sometime I'll let you take me out for a pizza or a little pinball or something.
Do you play Missile Command?
You mean that game where all the cities get blown to hell? Oh, I love that stuff.
You're gonna be all right.
12th precinct, where's your horse? Yeah, he is. Come on.
Captain Miller here? Yes, Your Honor, she's still here. As is the book. Yes, Judge Finnegan, I already spoke with Judge Kemp. I'm fully aware of the possible repercussions. No, I have not spoken with anyone from the press, but I'm beginning to feel that it's not such a bad idea. What I mean is, if you and your highly placed friends would spend half the energy trying to serve the public as you do trying to cover up your extracurricular activities, this city, the whole damn country for that matter, would be in a hell of a lot better shape. No, I don't ski.
I ski.
Miller, I'm sorry for all the inconvenience.
Yeah, well, do me a favor. Next time you decide to get arrested, do it in another precinct, huh?
No need to worry. I'm moving to Washington the latter part of January.
That figures.
Goodbye, Sergeant Harris.
Ah, Christine? You know, it occurs to me that you and I might want to get together again sometime, you know, in friendlier surroundings. Maybe have a cup of coffee, whatever.
Sure. Here's my number. Give me a call.
Okay.
But you realize the only thing you're going
Harris? Could I bum your sports page?
Wall Street Journal. Doesn't have a sports page.
Oh. So how's gold doing?
It's up.
I read the other day those Krugerrands. They're coming out with new denominations and sizes so that guys like me can afford them.
There goes the neighborhood.
Ron, do you notice that we don't talk anymore?
We don't?
No. I mean, as far as gold or your book or a case we're working on. Yeah, but as far as personal communication, I think we've sort of drifted apart.
Were we close?
Well, I thought so. Sort of.
Oh. Hey, look, man, what can I say? You know, a couple of guys, friends, you know, they worked together for a lot of years. Things happen. Their priorities shift. They develop new areas of interest. Then one day, they're just not the same people anymore. Strangers, suddenly with nothing in common. I mean, nobody really plans on it that way. It just happens. How was that?
Not bad.
Gentlemen,
Hey, Barney.
anything happen?
Yeah, Dietrich took Levitt out on a robbery call.
Can I take a look at the sports section?
I haven't seen it myself yet.
I think it's you.
Who's that?
It's Ira Russo. He's wanted in Arizona. Grand theft and check fraud. Turned himself in this morning.
Just tired of running and hiding. I just want to go back and make things right.
Well, we're glad we can be of help.
I called Arizona, but there's no one there. I'm gonna call later.
Barney, got a disturbance. The Odyssey Playhouse over on Bleecker.
No, you won't, you. I'll get it. 12th Precinct, Captain Miller speaking.
Ira, I'll take care of you as soon as I get back.
I'll wait right here.
Is he dead? All right, well, you keep me posted. Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. It was Levitt. Some kid tried to hold up a liquor store. Dietrich had to shoot him.
Well, that gives us something to talk about.
As soon as he gets out of surgery, you can book him. Yeah, right. Where's Dietrich? Well, when he's finished consulting with the other doctors, why don't you two head on back here? No, I wouldn't care for something from the gift shop. But thank you anyway.
The big guy, I guess he's still out, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to get this thing over with. I mean, what I did was so horrible. The guilt, the shame, man, they're eating away at me till I can't even sleep anymore.
Exactly what is it you did, Mr. Russo?
Well, I stole $1,300.
Well, it's not exactly commendable, but there have been worse crimes.
I took it from nuns.
Excuse me.
Everyone says that.
All right, come on. It's curtain time. I had to do something. He was mutilating my child.
I was trying to save it, to give it some depth, some texture.
That's what I ought to do to your face.
Hey. What do we got here?
It's mutual assault, Barn. This is Jordan Heath. He's an actor?
Allegedly.
Yeah, and this is Mr. Edward Novak. He's a writer.
He's a hack.
Whoa!
Okay, what happened?
Well, according to accounts from the audience at ringside, a performance of Mr. Novak's play in which Mr. Heath has a leading role was in progress when Mr. Novak bounded on the stage and began to choke Mr. Heath.
I wasn't saying the words. I wasn't motivated.
The line was, is that the phone? Now, is that so hard to say? Is that the phone?
In the context of the moment, the phone wasn't real.
It was ringing.
Regardless, the phone was real enough that Mr. Heath tried to shove the receiver down Mr. Novak's throat.
It got a laugh.
Anyway, while they're still rolling around on the stage, Wojo and I made our entrance.
Yeah, we got a big hand too, Barney.
Harris?
Yeah. Mr. Heath, you want to take a seat over there, please? We're going to have to book you.
That's all right with me, Sergeant. I can use this.
Miss Russo, you want to have a seat back here?
Did you call anyone yet?
No, I'm going to have to book this guy first.
Sure, I understand that.
We're back.
Hi, Dietrich. How you doing? Dietrich? Barney.
How's,
Kid, he should be all right.
what happened?
We pulled up to the liquor store just as the kid was running out. So I jump out of the car, yell freeze. The kid starts shooting at us. So I shot him. Put a bullet in his cheek. Upper left quadrant.
You should see his wallet, sir. Gale Storm right between the eyes.
How about yourself?
I'm all right.
Look, you want to take the rest of the day off?
What for?
Unwind? Regroup?
Look, I did what a cop has to do, right?
Right.
I gotta type some things up.
Sir, I could remain up here for the rest of the day and give Sergeant Dietrich a chance to reorient himself.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Seems to be handling it pretty well.
I know, sir, but sometimes in these situations there's a delayed psychological reaction.
I'll keep an eye on him.
I'll be available in case he cracks.
He told me to sit here?
Sit over there.
No problem.
Words.
Pardon me?
That's all writers ever care about. Their words, their impressions, their thoughts. Actors have thoughts too, you know.
And is this one of them?
Yes.
Oh.
You see, the written word is merely a foundation upon which we actors build. The essence of the theater is the actor, and the essence of acting is interpretation, breathing life into stagnant ideas, molding them, caressing them, until they fit each character like a finely tailored suit.
And if the play happens to be ruined in the process?
Hey, I didn't write it.
Hey, Arthur, did you, catch any of Olivier's act over there?
Have patience with the jealousies and petulances of actors, for their hour is their eternity. Richard Garnett.
Good quote, Arthur.
It's one for the road. Captain? Here you go.
What's this?
Just a letter of resignation.
What?
I'm resigning. I didn't have time to make copies for everybody.
Should I go downstairs and change now, sir?
Any questions?
Yeah. How come you're quitting?
Look, it's simple. I just don't feel I have the right to take the life of another human being.
You did?
I was lucky.
Come on, what are you gonna do? Let him shoot you?
Consider it.
This is an absolutely normal reaction to a situation like this. You know that. By tomorrow, you'll...
Well, I feel like blowing somebody else away? Listen, I've thought this out very carefully. I've just decided that my personal integrity and moral code is worth a hell of a lot more than any badge.
So, you finished reading the complaint?
Oh, yes, Sergeant. I was just making a few changes.
Oh?
It just needs a little punching up, you know?
Give me that.
Well, I finished processing Novak, and I I reached Arizona. Sheriff's Department's going to get in touch with me about the extradition. Hey, did you talk with Dietrich anymore?
No.
I don't get why he's being so hard on himself.
Well, a man obviously has certain convictions about the sanctity of human life, certain ethical principles that he feels are in conflict with his role as a police officer.
Yeah, but then what he's really saying is that the only guys that can be cops are the guys who are unprincipled, trigger-happy slobs.
Like us.
Can I help you?
Yeah, do something with these. I'm in a hurry.
Producer.
If you wanted to kill me, why didn't you just stick a knife in my heart?
Hello, Leonard.
Hello, Leonard. Ah! An hour ago, I was sitting home sipping a martini. Happy man. I got my health. I got a hit play running. My wife found out about Vicky and doesn't mind. I'm thinking life is good. Then the phone rings. They tell me, Leonard, your author was just trying to kill one of your actors, and the people are demanding their money back. And I got 20 cases of orangeade I gotta flush down the sewer at $1.75 a cup.
So tell him to leave my words alone.
I never went near them.
Is this the way professional theater people behave? Of course not. If you have a disagreement, you don't attack one another during a performance. You wait till later and do it in a restaurant.
My contract guarantees me creative control.
And I have an artistic obligation to...
Both of you! I have had it up to here with this artistic creative control garbage. Arthur, there's something I want to say before you go.
Oh, you're not going to try and talk me out of it, are you?
No, I think you should quit.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I think that, I think a person with your high moral code shouldn't have to associate with people that are on our low level.
I said that?
Well, I mean, it's like you're saying that we must be morally deficient or something.
Hey, whoa, Joe. Take it easy. All he said was that he couldn't keep this job and maintain his integrity at the same time. What makes you so damn special?
Sir, Harris and Wojo are ganging up on Sergeant Dietrich. Don't you might want to get in a few shots of your own?
Somebody's gotta take the responsibility. Or maybe you don't think so.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, is this my party?
What's going on?
We're just talking to him.
About what?
About what we were talking about in the office.
Look, the man has made his decision. We should respect that. Regardless of how it reflects on us.
I appreciate that.
However, I'm sure you can understand that those of us who remain behind might take a certain offense at the implication of some of the things you've said.
Sure, I can understand it. Maybe because it's true. Maybe I do have different values. Maybe I just happen to have a stronger philosophical foundation than the rest of you. Well, is that my fault?
So why'd you become a cop in the first place?
Stood in the wrong line.
You know, it occurs to me you stood in a lot of wrong lines in your life.
What do you mean?
Weren't you a medical student?
Yeah.
What happened?
I quit.
Oh, yeah, and how long did you stay in law school?
A couple of weeks.
Teacher? Actor?
You left out beekeeper and lumberjack. That was my wilderness period.
Seems to me you've had a continuing difficulty committing to anything.
Yeah, so?
So maybe the high moral code and integrity are really just an intellectual smokescreen to rationalize away the fact that you're quitting again.
Look, maybe everything you guys said is right, okay? But I still have to hold on to my principles. Maybe I still have to hold on to this job.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I'm either going to go or stay.
Great.
Well, welcome back, if you are.
Thanks for nothing.
Performance of detective story over now. You gonna do something about these or what?
Oh, I was just waiting for you to ask so nicely.
Uh-huh. Well, just hold on a second here, all right? I'll put you on hold. It's the DA's office in Phoenix. They don't want to come back for Russo.
Why not?
They said that the nature of his crime isn't serious enough to make it worth their while to come back and get him.
I stole from nuns.
But if he wants to pay his own expenses back, they'll be willing to prosecute him.
I don't have the money. Honest.
All right, prepare to move out, you criminals.
Huh? You gonna behave yourself? Start acting like adults now? Hmm?
Well, that depends.
On what?
On what he says tomorrow night.
So, tell him what you're gonna say tomorrow night.
I won't know until it comes out.
Look, Arthur, don't be so sensitive. Everything you write isn't carved in stone.
Exactly.
And you, actor, try having a little respect for the written word. The man wrote you a nice play. Say some of it! All right?
I'll try.
Good.
But it'll be an effort.
And while you're at it, why don't you drop that snotty accent? You're from St. Louis, for God's sake!
Look, the point is... Excuse me, the point is there's a man here who is truly repentant and sincerely wants to pay his debt to society, and you're telling him you're not interested. I mean, what's the man supposed to think? Yeah, I got it.
You're not gonna come get me?
I'm afraid not.
Maybe you could take me back.
I'm sorry, we don't have the authority.
I see. So what happens now?
Well, we have no reason to hold you, do we?
No, he's clean here.
You mean you're asking me to leave?
Sir, January manpower reports are sorted into departmental communications, and this is my dress. I tried to select an outfit I thought would be appealing to both muggers and perverts.
By George, you've done it.
Well, thank you, sir. And once again, I want to say how much I appreciate your confidence in assigning me this undercover duty.
It's your turn in the barrel.
That's what I meant.
Look, I know not everybody is thrilled about...
Sir, that's all right. I know in the past that some of the other men have had problems with this assignment of a psychosexual nature. I just want to say, to me, just another detail.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Of course, no lashes.
Right.
We agreed on that.
Right. Yeah, post this stuff.
I hope we're coming to a chair.
This is our second story, man?
Stanley Golden.
And you are?
I'm Captain Miller.
Barney, he was ransacking an apartment on the 3rd floor. When we broke in on him, he slipped down the fire escape.
Oh, I really slipped.
Anyway, when he did get up, he made a run for it down the alley. We caught up with him a few blocks away.
You cops are running much faster these days.
Pardon me for saying this, Mr. Golden. Aren't you a little old for this line of work?
See why he's captain. Yeah, I'm much too old.
All right, we're gonna have to book you now. Just
You don't have to give me the whole police procedure. I got outstanding warrants older than you.
And we'll check on those, too.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you that next July will mark my 50th year as a professional criminal?
My congratulations.
At least would have.
That's true. You'll probably be out of circulation at that time.
I'll be dead.
Excuse me?
I'm dying. I got liver cancer. I got 6, maybe 7 months at the most.
Sorry.
Sorry enough to let me go?
I'm afraid not.
I didn't think he would.
Mr. Golden, you want to take a seat right over here, please?
Sure.
Could I get you a cup of coffee?
Oh, no, thanks. My doctor told me caffeine makes me nervous. That was the good news.
So you want to post this one?
What is it?
It's from Internal Affairs.
Internal Affairs? What the hell do they want with us? Interdepartmental memo to Detective Squad 12th Precinct from us. Following instances of proscribed behavior and departmental infractions were observed during the 2-week period ending December 15th. Sergeant S. Wojciechowicz, violation of Regulation 104-1, arrived late for duty on 12-3, 12-4, 12-5, 12-12, and 12-14.
Not 12-14.
Captain B. Miller, violation of Regulation 103-2, failure to report subordinates' late arrival on 12-3, 12-4, 12-5, 12-12, and 12-14.
Not 12-14.
Sergeant R. Harris, violation of Regulation 105-5, conducting personal business during on-duty hours. Made personal telephone calls on 12-8 and 12-10 to Wainwright Publishers, Spinner Landau Brokerage Firm, and Suits for Less discount clothiers?
I was just inquiring. I didn't buy nothing from them.
Sergeant A. Dietrich, violation of Regulation 118-2, unnecessary conversation. Aforementioned officer observed on numerous occasions engaged in lengthy, non-duty related discussions and monologues. Moreover, officer's lack of enthusiasm and non-committal attitude toward official duties reflects poorly on his squad and the department.
That's a crock.
What the hell's going on?
I think we've got a field associate up our way.
Informer. They got him in all the precincts. But this guy sounds like he was in the room with us.
Yeah, 12th Precinct, Harris. Who are you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll get somebody over. Barn, there's a disturbance over on 6th.
Dietrich, you and Wardle.
Oh, boy. Yippee-I-O-K.
Too much?
So you got a stoolie, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I knew a guy like that once up in Attica. He squealed on some guys. They ripped his tongue out and sent it to the warden.
Oh, what'd he do with it?
Just put it with the others. I could give you a million stories about those.
No, let's just try and get through this, huh? What's your date of birth?
October the 12th, 1909. I could give you a guesstimate on the other end.
That's okay.
Yeah, I understand. People don't like to talk about such things.
You're a next of kin?
Nobody.
Well, I got to have the name of someone to notify in case of an accident or, whatever.
I don't know.
Come on, I mean, there must be someone. Well, look, just give me the name of your closest friend or acquaintance, huh?
That would be you.
They're the ones you should be arresting, not me.
Why don't you say that before? What we got here? Captain, this is William Klein. He was wrecking an office.
But I just wanted to meet them face to face. I wanted them to admit what they were doing.
Who is they? He was in the office of the Trilateral Commission.
Trilateral Commission?
Yeah, the Trilateral Commission.
All right, what is the Trilateral Commission?
It's an organization founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller to bring together business and political leaders from the United States, Europe, Japan, so they could work together for better economic and political cooperation between their nations.
Yeah, but that's what they'd like us to believe. But you see, what they're really up to is a scheme to plant their own loyal members in positions of power in this country, to work to erase national boundaries and create an international community, and in time bring about a one-world government with David Rockefeller calling the shots.
I take it they're pressing charges?
Yeah, well, he broke a globe and some UNICEF artwork.
Well, they're in on it, too.
Okay, Mr. Klein, if you just...
I'm telling you, our whole way of life as we know it is in jeopardy.
I appreciate that information.
But I have the documented evidence. It's all in there. Show him.
Well, he's got these magazines here.
Conspiracy Review? Suppressed Truth Roundup?
The whole master plan is exposed.
Yeah, well,
You're still not convinced, huh? Would you like to hear the names of just a few of the people who have been on the Trilateral Commission?
Not particularly.
James Earl Carter. Heard of him?
Look, Mr. Klein...
Henry Kissinger. You heard of him? Walter Mondale.
Who?
Mr. Klein, this is
John Anderson, George Bush. Now, you remember at the convention, everybody thought it was going to be Ford for Veep. You know what happened? David Rockefeller just picked up a phone, put in a call. Hey, Ronnie, forget Jerry, it's George. Bye. So, no matter who won in November, they had their man in the White House.
Are you through?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, just have
Listen,
a...
I'm sorry for yelling. It's just, I get so agitated when I think about what they're doing.
Try and relax now, Mr. Klein. You have a seat over there. You can give all this information to Sergeant Dietrich, okay?
Thank you.
Sit down. Maybe Mr. Klein would like a cup of coffee?
It's not one of those international brands, is it? You know, the ones that brought on TV's always pushing Swiss avocado. Who does she think she's fooling? You. Richardson, Senator Alan Cranston, Arthur Burns, Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Hey, you want to take a break?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, let's get through this, okay? Sure. I need your full name.
William John Klein.
Klein, E-I?
E-I.
Oh.
I just checked Golden for priors.
And?
Barney, 115 arrests, 14 grand jury indictments, 23 felony convictions dating back to 1933.
Inspiring.
I also got a missing persons report his wife filed on him in 1948.
It's still open, so I'm gonna, try to locate her, get her to come down here for kind of, surprise reunion.
You seem to be taking an unusual interest in Mr. Golden.
Barney, he worked for Lucky Luciano? Bugsy Siegel?
It's worth a chapter in itself.
Pardon me?
Why, you are looking to get a book out of it, aren't you?
No.
No?
Well, that never occurred to me.
Well, I just assumed you were being so nice to the guy.
Well, maybe it's because I just like him.
Well, yeah, right.
I mean, relating to him, one human being to another.
Yeah, well, I just never saw you do that before.
Thank you, Barney.
Well, what I mean is well, you do have a tendency sometimes to maneuver people into a position where they're on the defensive and you're in control. Like now? Yes.
Yeah, guys, it's got to be Levitt.
What?
The field associate.
Oh, Joe.
I've been thinking it through, and it's got to be Levitt.
Do you have any evidence?
No.
Then why don't you just drop it?
Levitt, huh?
I finished writing up client.
Good.
So what's with this field associate?
Well, I think it's Levitt.
Whoa, Joe.
He's the only one that's up here all the time, sneaking around, watching everything we do with those weaselly little eyes.
Whoa, Joe. Until you've got evidence, I suggest you just drop it, huh? Don't mention it again.
Not even to Levitt?
No! Don't even hint at it. I don't even want you thinking about it.
Oh, well, whatever you say.
And I'm sure you've got enough work to keep your mind off it. Yes?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, sir.
Hi, little Levitt.
What is it?
I just wanted to check to see if there was anything else you needed before I changed gender. Fine. Having a little detectives powwow, are we?
No. We were just having a little unnecessary conversation.
Well, excuse me.
The bathroom is right in there.
I still don't see why I gotta get neatened up.
Ah, come on. One should always look the best they can.
I think it's a little too late for that.
Come on, get it.
Oh, you got any Vitalis I could borrow?
I'm fresh out.
Yeah, I guess you go through a bottle pretty fast.
Get in there.
Hey, it's not only the right wing that's recognized the danger of the trilateralist. It was Gore Vidal, a liberal, who first exposed it.
Oh, yeah? Did you happen to see his version of Caligula?
Oh.
He exposed some nice stuff in there, too.
About the trilateralists?
Lighten up, will you? Where's Goldie?
It's in the bathroom.
Find his wife yet?
Oh, yeah. I didn't tell her about him, though. I just asked her to come down here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, they have not seen each other in 33 years.
You know, this is a beautiful thing you do.
Come on.
Talk movie rights yet?
Yeah, it's me. I finished the DeMarco report and the Jenkins report.
Good.
Then I compiled the January arrest statistics, and then I projected them for February, March, and April.
Is that it?
I cleaned my revolver.
Fine.
Is there anything else that I should be doing?
No, not at the moment.
I'm not thinking about it.
Good.
But you are.
Mrs. Golden?
Yeah.
Hi. I'm Sergeant Harris. We spoke on the phone earlier.
Yeah, it was nice to hear from you again.
Well, of course, I'm not the same officer you spoke to in 1948.
Oh, of course not. He was white and much younger.
Right. Would you please just for me just sign these forms right here?
Forms? What for?
Well, it's just a little paperwork to close out your case.
Yeah, but why?
Just
what
sign,
happened?
Just sign right here.
All right.
Yes, right here. Mr. Golden.
I got a little surprise for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes?
Mr. Golden, this is your wife.
Karen?
Stanley?
Mm-hmm.
So they finally found you.
Yeah.
Well.
So how are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm dying.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is there anything else you need?
No.
Can I leave?
Sure, why not?
Well, it was nice seeing you again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm drained.
All right, come on, Mr. Golden. Let's get back in the cage.
Was that the surprise?
Oh, come on, just get back in the cage, will you?
Mail call. Harris? Nothing for you, fella. Wojciechowicz? Mail just came in. Thought I'd give you guys a few laughs.
Levitt?
Yes, sir, it's me. I hope you approve.
Oh, yeah, really, look very, vulnerable.
Thank you, sir. Well, I'll be heading on out now unless there's something else.
No.
I love it.
Wojo, don't.
This one is not for me.
Sorry.
All right.
Don't what, sir?
Oh, no, just something between Wojo and myself. Something that never should have come up in the first place. But apparently has. Are you the field associate?
Well?
What's the question?
Levitt.
Yes, it's me.
Why?
If I said no, they would have found somebody else. So it seemed better for it to be someone who liked you guys, who would overlook major transgressions and concentrate on the really picayune stuff.
What are we supposed to do? Thank you?
You're welcome.
Stop fooling around, Levitt. This isn't funny.
Wait. That's okay, sir. Let him say what he wants. He can take a swing at me if it'll make him feel better.
No.
I mean, it's always open season on Carl Levitt, right? Anybody else want to get in a shot?
You're an ugly broad.
How are we supposed to keep working with you?
I didn't know you had been.
What?
Has it ever occurred to any of you that maybe I wouldn't be doing this if I had gotten 1 ounce of respect from you guys?
Levitt.
Get to you in a minute, sir. But all I got was, hi there, little Levitt. File this, little Levitt. See you later, little Levitt.
Well, I only meant that in the diminutive sense.
Never treated me as anything but a joke.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, well, what?
You're right.
Levitt, I'm partially responsible for that.
No kidding. Maybe I would have a little credibility with them if you stopped yanking me up and down like a yo-yo. One day I'm in uniform, then plain clothes, and now this. For God's sake, sir, make up your mind.
Well, I told you many times, Levitt. It has to do with manpower
Sir, I'd certainly love to
requirements.
hear it again, but as it is, I'm late for the park. Look. I know there's supposed to be a bond, a trust between cops, and I broke that trust. I owe everyone here an apology for doing that. I just hope you understand why I did it. And give me another chance to prove myself. All right? All right.
Maybe he forgot something.
Mr. Golden, come on, I'm gonna run you over to the tombs. Hey, it's just the name of the place.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, let's go.
Listen, in case I didn't mention it, I appreciate what you've done for me before, bringing in my wife.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it reminded me of why I left her in the first place.
Hey, you're welcome.
You know something?
What?
You're probably going to be the last person I meet in this world that I can call a friend.
Hey, look, I really appreciate that, Mr. Golden. Hey, but look, I mean, 6 months. Well, what do they know? I mean, it could be 6 years, huh?
It's okay. I know people make such a big thing about dying. It's all part of the deal. I'm all ready. I got me a nice little plot overlooking the Long Island Expressway, just waiting for me. I even paid for the funeral and everything.
That's nice.
You want to come?
Well,
It's not going to be anything fancy. One rabbi, a few flowers, a little buffet afterwards. I can have you notified if you want.
Sure. I'd like that, Mr. Golden.
Okay.
Let's go.
The eulogy is still open.
I'll think about it.
Not going to be anything special. I mean, you already got my arrest record and everything.
Come on, let's go.
Sign for your valuables and get on out of here.
Thank you.
Here you go. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Guess you think I'm just another crackpot, huh?
No, I think you voiced some legitimate concerns.
Really?
Sure. Any large organization of powerful people, even if it's not conspiratorial, is open to excess and abuse.
You know, you're the first person who's really understood what I'm talking about.
Well, I think you got some very valid criticisms of the commission.
Right.
And I'm certainly going to bring them up at the next meeting.
What?
Him. Dole's face darkened. Mike Fisher, the landlord of the Nag's Head, a man who had seen the Trotters as his ticket out of the pub trade. Mike invested his life savings in our venture, Dell explained. He actually remortgaged the pub. He's in prison now, awaiting trial. The fraud squad claims he tried to recoup his losses by embezzling the brewery. Never was a man more innocent. He confessed to everything, Dell, Rodney pointed out. He was under duress. Dell shouted, "The pressure of the brewing industry is immense." The narrative shifted to the waiting room of the court. The atmosphere was thick with the smell of cheap coffee and the nervous sweat of Peckham's finest. Denzel was pacing, wearing the marble floor down. Uncle Albert was sitting there, looking like a weary old owl. Trigger was. Well, Trigger was staring at a wall, possibly having a conversation with his own shadow. Trig, if I go in there and tell the truth, Denzel had said, Dell and Rodney are going to be spending the next 5 years sharpening Jeffrey Archer's pencils. I'm going to tell them I hear voices. Trigger had replied with the terrifying sincerity of the truly confused. Chapter 6. The Wrong Side of the Grave. The funeral of Uncle Albert should have been a moment of dignified sorrow. Instead, it was a master class in Trotter-esque absurdity. The family stood in the biting cold of a coastal cemetery. Dell was genuinely heartbroken. Albert had been their anchor, The man who had survived the Battle of the Baltic only to be nearly killed by those cooking. I feel bad, Dell whispered to Rodney as they stood by the grave, leaving him here on his own while we were off globe-trotting. We should have taken him to Barbados. He didn't have a passport, Dell, Rodney reminded him. He thought the Germans were still looking for him. They stood amongst a group of strangers. A woman named Marion was crying. A man named Roland was complaining about Albert's wartime sagas. God, he did go on, didn't he? Roland sneered. Never bloody stopped. The John Wayne of the East End. Dell's blood began to simmer. It reached boiling point. He stepped forward, his eyes blazing. You got to remember that a lot of blokes lost their lives for our liberty, just so that 50 years later, prats like you would have the freedom to knock them. You want to go outside and have a chat, Roland? Calm down, Dell, Rodney pleaded. It was only when the young boy, Damien, looked up at a passing plane and asked if it was a Spitfire that the reality hit them. Wait a minute, Dell said, looking at the headstone. Bunny. Why did you call him Bunny? Because his surname was Warren, Roland said. Albert Warren. Raff. The silence that followed was heavy. Rodney, Dell whispered, his face turning ashen. We're at the wrong funeral. Oh, let's go. Rodney hissed, grabbing Dell's arm. They fled the cemetery like grave robbers who had forgotten their shovels. Chapter 7, The Phoenix Arises, sort of. Back in Nelson Mandela House, the grandeur of the millionaire years felt like a dream someone else had had. The flat was cramped, the wallpaper was peeling, and the Inland Revenue was knocking on the door with the persistence of a woodpecker on a metal pole. The court declared me bankrupt, Dell announced to the family. But don't worry, I've worked it all out. I'm a trader. I could sell rice to the Chinese. The firm's been liquidized, Dell, Rodney said, sitting at the kitchen table. Disqualified, Dell corrected. I've been disqualified from running it. That doesn't mean the company is dead. We just need a new managing director. Someone young. Someone enthusiastic. Someone with to GCEs. Rodney looked up, a glimmer of hope or madness in his eyes. Me? Yes, you, Rodney. You can take over Trotter's independent traders. Legally, there's nothing to stop you. You're clean, mostly. And so, the new era began. Rodney Trotter, managing director. Dell took a back seat, or rather, he sat in the front seat and shouted directions while Rodney tried to drive. They were back in business. They were trading again. The goal, $48,750 for pounds. That was the debt. That was the mountain they had to climb. Chapter 8, The Golden Ticket. The idea for Gold Rush came to Dell like a divine revelation during a late-night session of channel hopping. It's a game show, Rodney, Dell shouted, bursting into the living room. Jonathan Ross, you can win 100,000 quid. It's the fastest game show on TV. Del, you think King Edward introduced the potato to England? Rodney said flatly. I didn't hear the question properly. Del insisted. I've worked it out. I'm going to apply. This time next year, we'll be millionaires. Again. This time last week, we were millionaires, Cassandra pointed out from the kitchen. But Del was already filling out the form. He wasn't just a bankrupt salesman from Peckham anymore. In his mind, he was a Renaissance man, a lover of fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian art. He was Derek Trotter, and the world hadn't seen the last of him. Chapter 9, The Brunei Connection. The telephone in the Trotter household was a fickle instrument. Sometimes it brought news of a consignment of hooky VCers. Other times, it was just the electric company wondering if Del intended to pay his bill within the current century. One evening, as Rodney was trying to maintain a facade of managing director gravitas, the phone rang. Trotter's Independent Traders, how may I help you? Rodney said, his voice an octave deeper than usual. Good evening, a voice responded, accented and dripping with importance. I am wishing to speak with managing director. This is he, Rodney said, puffing out his chest. My name is Rodney Trotter. I am representative of the Sultan of Brunei, the voice continued. Rodney's heart did a little tap dance against his ribs. He looked at Del, who was currently trying to clean a fake Rolex with a bit of spit and a rag. Del, it's the Sultan of Brunei. Del stopped rubbing the watch. Yeah, and I'm the Pope's golf partner. Give it here. But Rodney was already hooked. How may I be of assistance, sir? His Highness has seen your advertisement in the newspaper. He would like you to fly to Brunei and be his consultant. Rodney's eyes glazed over. He could see it now. Gold-plated yachts, silk robes, and a world where duty-free wasn't just a suggestion. Consultant. On what, specifically? Recently, the voice said, suppressed laughter starting to bubble through the accent, His Highness bought a crappy old three-wheeled van, and he wants to know how to start it on cold mornings. The line exploded into the unmistakable, high-pitched cackle of Mickey Pierce. Rodney slammed the phone down. I knew it was him. I was just winding him up. Del shook his head. Rodney, you're about as good at winding people up as a sundial in a coal cellar. Get back to your paperwork. Chapter 10, Fantasy Therapy. Rodney's marriage to Cassandra was, in his own words, a series of minor hiccups in the bedroom department. To address this, Rodney had turned to the modern equivalent of a witch doctor, a lifestyle magazine. It's called Fantasy Therapy. Cass, Rodney explained that night, his voice hushed. This expert in America says our troubles stem from memory baggage. We need to become different people, reborn. Cassandra looked at him over the top of her book. Different people. do I get to be someone who lives in a house without a yellow vent parked outside? No, it's about iconoclastic autosuggestion. Rodney insisted. We write down our fantasy figure, and for one night, the other person becomes that figure. No dressing up required. It's all in the mind. All right, Cassandra sighed. I'll try anything to stop you talking about memory baggage. They wrote down their choices. Cassandra handed her slip to Rodney. He opened it and blinked. The bill. You want me to be a copper? Just a position of authority. Rodney, she said, a mischief glint in her eye. Rodney's own fantasy involved a certain gladiator, or maybe a heroic figure from a film he'd seen recently. He didn't say it, but he had a plan. The next evening, the plan went horribly wrong. Dell burst into the flat to find Cassandra dressed in a full policewoman's uniform, complete with a baton and a look of professional disapproval. Rodney, on the other hand, was standing there in a leather tunic, looking like he'd been rejected from a low-budget production of Spartacus. Oh, my God, Dell shouted, nearly dropping his bag of takeaway. I thought we were being raided. Cassandra, I didn't know you'd joined the force. And Rodney, what are you? A Roman centurion with a vitamin D deficiency. It's a fancy dress party. Dell, Rodney yelled, his face turning a shade of purple that matched his tunic. We're going to a party. My ex-boss at the bank invited us. At 5:30, Dell asked, skeptical, a bit early for a rave, isn't it? It's an early party for people who have to be up for work. Rodney grabbed Cassandra's arm. Come on, Reg Hollis, let's go before he starts asking for our badges. Chapter 11, The Lights of Gold Rush. The BBC television studios were a labyrinth of cables, tired security guards, and the smell of industrial-grade hairspray. Dell stood in the wings of the Gold Rush set, adjusting his suit. He told the producers he was a connoisseur of the arts. He told them his hobbies included fine wines and 16th century Italian Renaissance art. In reality, his knowledge of fine wine stopped at anything that didn't have a screw top. And the only Renaissance art he owned was a framed picture of a crying boy that he'd bought at a car boot sale in 1984. Welcome to another edition of the show that is taking the country by storm. The voice of Jonathan Ross boomed through the speakers. This is Thursday. This is live. This is Jonathan Ross, and this is Gold Rush. Dell stepped onto the stage, his smile fixed, his rings gleaming under the studio lights. Beside him were his competitors, Mike Wallace, a financial advisor who looked like he'd swallowed a lemon, and Janice Scott, who seemed genuinely terrified of the cameras. And finally, Ross announced, we have Derek Trotter from Peckham. Derek is a businessman who lives with Raquel, his significant other. His pastimes include fine wines, the theater, and 16th century Italian Renaissance art. Del gave a thumbs up. Lovely jubbly. Jonathan, just happy to be here for the culture, you know. Chapter 12, The Rainbow Road. The game began with a flurry of questions. Del's finger was poised over the buzzer like a predator waiting for a slow-moving gazelle. Whose famous diary recorded the plague and the Great Fire of London? Ross asked. Del hit the buzzer. Mrs. Dale's. The studio went silent. Ross blinked. Nice try, Del, but I'm afraid that's not right. You're frozen now. Eventually, through a series of fluke errors by his opponents, Del found himself as the first challenger on the Rainbow Road. He stood in the center of the stage, a 1-pound coin clutched in his hand, his guaranteed prize. Whatever else happens, that's yours, Ross said. Just make sure it ain't Irish, eh? Del quipped, winking at the camera. He breezed through the early rounds. He knew Kilimanjaro was in Africa mostly because he'd once tried to sell a crate of T-shirts with the mountain printed on the wrong side. He survived a challenge from Janice. The money climbed. 10,000, 25,000. And then the green question. In which state was President Kennedy born? Del hesitated. He remembered the news footage. He remembered the tragedy. Well, when he was assassinated in 1963, he was in a terrible state. He died. I need the name of the state. Del, Ross urged. Texas, Florida, or California? Del sweated. He used his shot in the dark. Florida, he shouted. No, Ross sighed. It was Texas. But you played your shot, so you're still in the game for the penalty question. Chapter 13, The Ravel Debacle. The penalty question was worth 50,000 pounds. If Del got it right, he'd move to the final gold question for 100,000. Which classical guitarist wrote the opera The Child and the Enchantment? Was it Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Del's brain stalled. Classical music. He was a man of the people. He liked the theme from Z Cars and anything by Tom Jones. He needed his SOS. He needed his brother. My brother, Rodney, Del said, he's a graduate to GCEs. He knows his classics. Back in the flat, the phone rang. Rodney, still in his Spartacus tunic, answered it. Hello, Rodney. It's Jonathan Ross. Oh, piss off. Mickey, you're getting on my tits now. Rodney yelled. Rodney, it's not Mickey. It's the BBC. Your brother is on 50 grand. Realization hit Rodney like a bucket of cold water. He listened to the question. Ravel, Segovia, or Rodrigo? Ravel. Rodney shouted into the phone. I'm 100% sure, Del, it's Ravel. Del, back in the studio, looked at the camera with the confidence of a man who had just been handed the keys to the Bank of England. It's Ravel, Jonathan. My brother knows. He's got the brains in the family. Are you sure, Derek? Ross asked. You don't have to take his answer. No, Rodney's spot on. Ravel. The buzzer sounded a long, agonizing drone of failure. Derek, Ross said, his voice filled with genuine pity. That was the wrong answer. It was Segovia. Dill's face fell. The 100,000 pounds vanished into the ether. What? But Rodney said he's got to GCE's. Chapter 14, The Return of the Conqueror Not. The journey back to Peckham was long and silent. Dell walked through the door of the flat to find Rodney and Cassandra waiting, still dressed as a gladiator and a policewoman. What happened? Rodney asked, his voice small. What happened? Dell exploded. What happened is that you're a dipstick, Rodney. That's what happened. Everyone knows that Ravel makes shoes. It was a trick question, and you fell for it. Shoes? Rodney stammered. Ravel wrote Bolero. I don't care if he wrote the Bible. He makes shoes in the Peckham High Street. You lost us 50 grand. The argument raged until the phone rang again. It was the producer of Gold Rush. Hello. Yes, this is Derek Trotter. What? No. Really? Dell turned to the room, his eyes wide. There's been a mistake. The producer says it was Ravel. Segovia was just the guitarist who performed it or something. They've checked the facts. I can have the 50,000 pounds and come back on the show next week. The room erupted. Rodney cheered. Raquel cried. Even Cassandra hugged her prisoner. See, Dell shouted, his voice reaching a crescendo of triumph. I knew I was right. I knew the Trotters were back. He grabbed the phone again. Yeah. Well, I tell you what we're going to do. Give all the money to charity. Yeah. And if you phone here once again, I'm going to come down there and kick your arse into shredded duck. He slammed the phone down. Dell, Rodney screamed. What did you do that for? Because, Dell said, a sly grin spreading across his face, that wasn't the producer. I could hear the jukebox at the Nag's Head. That was Mickey Pierce again. He sat down, exhausted but undefeated. Don't worry, Rodney. This time next year, we'll be millionaires. And in the heart of Peckham, for the 1,000th time, they almost believed him. Chapter 15, The Morning After the Morning After. The following morning, Nelson Mandela House felt like the setting of a hungover Greek tragedy. The adrenaline of the Gold Rush debacle had dissipated, leaving only the cold reality of the Inland Revenue's interest rates and the lingering smell of Raquel's burnt toast. Dell sat at the kitchen table, nursing a cup of tea that was mostly condensed milk and desperation. He was staring at a pile of bills as if he could intimidate them into paying themselves. Rodney, Dell barked as his brother shuffled into the kitchen, looking like a man who had spent the night sleeping in a tumble dryer. Where is the inventory for the new stock? Rodney groaned, rubbing his eyes. Dell, it's 8 in the morning, and technically, since I'm the managing director, shouldn't I be asking you for that? Dell let out a short, sharp laugh. Managing director. Rodney, you're the only managing director in London who still gets an allowance from his older brother. Now, where is it? It's in the van. Rodney sighed. But it's mostly those unbreakable umbrellas we bought from Boyke. I tried one this morning. It snapped the second a light breeze hit it. Dell didn't look up. That's because you don't know the technique. Rodney, you have to open them with finesse. They're not umbrellas. They're aerodynamic sunshades. It's all in the marketing. Raquel entered, Damien trailing behind her. The boy was wearing a t-shirt that said Future Millionaire, a gift from Dell that currently felt like a cruel joke. Dell, we've had another letter from the council, Raquel said, her voice weary. They're asking about the arrears again. Dell stood up, smoothing his waistcoat. Don't you worry about the council. Sweetheart, I've got a meeting this afternoon with a very influential business associate. Top-level stuff. Is it Trigger? Rodney asked, deadpan. Dell paused, his hand on the door handle. He might be in the vicinity. Yes, but that's irrelevant. We are the Trotters. We've been down before, but we always bounce back. Like those rubber balls that never stop. They're called super balls. Dell, Rodney corrected. And eventually, they hit someone in the eye and get confiscated. Chapter 16, The Nag's Head Resurrection. The Nag's Head was the spiritual home of the Trotter Empire, a place where legends were told and where beer was served at a temperature that could only be described as room adjacent. As Dell and Rodney walked in, a hush fell over the bar. It was the kind of silence usually reserved for a funeral or a surprise inspection by the health department. Trigger was at his usual spot, looking as if he hadn't moved since the mid-70s. Denzel was nursing a half-pint, and Sid was behind the bar, polishing a glass that looked like it had been used to store gravel. All right, Dave, Trigger said, nodding at Rodney. It's Rodney, Trig. Rodney sighed, for the 10,000th time. Heard about the show, Dell, Sid said, leaning over the bar. Me and the wife were watching. She said she liked your suit, said it made you look like a very successful magician. Dell ignored the barb. It's all part of the game. Sid, high stakes, high rewards. We were testing the waters, weren't we? Rodney, I was testing the limits of human embarrassment, Rodney muttered. Don't listen to him, Dell said, ordering a large cognac. He's got executive stress. Now, Denzel, I hear you've been having trouble with your suspension. Denzel looked up, wary. How do you know that? I have my sources, Dell said, leaning in. And it just so happens that Trotter's independent traders under the new and vibrant leadership of Rodney here has just acquired a consignment of high-performance shock absorbers. Straight from Germany. Germany? Denzel asked. Or a garage in Lewisham? Dell looked hurt. Denzel, would I lie to you? They're military grade, built to withstand a direct hit from a tank. your van will feel like a magic carpet. How much? Denzel asked, his curiosity getting the better of his common sense. For you, a mere 100 quid, plus a small administration fee for the managing director. Del nudged Rodney. Rodney, tell him about the quality. Rodney looked at Denzel, then at Del, then at his beer. There, round, and they've got springs, I think. See? Del beamed. The man's a genius. Right? Let's seal the deal. Sid, a round for my friends. On Rodney's tab. Chapter 17, The Suitcase in the Van. The sun was beginning to set over Peckham, casting long, orange shadows over the estate. Del and Rodney were back at the van, the shock absorbers, which looked suspiciously like painted PVC pipes, safely stowed in the back. Del reached into the van and pulled out a battered leather suitcase. He handled it with a reverence usually reserved for religious relics. This is it, Rodney, Del said, his voice dropping to a whisper, the beginning of the comeback. Del, it's a suitcase, Rodney said. What's in it? More umbrellas. Del popped the latches. Inside were hundreds of small, plastic devices that looked like a cross between a calculator and a remote control. Electronic personal organizers, Del announced. The future of business, Rodney. Every man in London is going to want one. It's got a clock, a calendar, and a button that makes a beeping noise. Del, everyone has these on their phones now. Rodney said, holding one up. It's 2002. This technology is practically prehistoric. Del shook his head, a look of pity on his face. That's where you're wrong, Rodney. People miss the tactile experience. They want something they can hold, something with weight. These are vintage tech. It's the latest trend. I'm telling you, by this time next year. Rodney cut him off. We'll be millionaires. I know. Del, I know. They stood there for a moment, to brothers in a three-wheeled van, surrounded by the debris of 100 failed schemes and the flickering hope of 1,000 more. I'll fetch the suitcase from the van, Del repeated, a small smile playing on his lips, because where it all comes from is a mystery, Rodney. But as long as we're together, we're the bestest. Rodney looked at the suitcase, then at his brother. He let out a long, slow breath and climbed into the passenger seat. All right, Del, drive on. But if we pass a skip, those shock absorbers are going in it. Deal. Del laughed, turning the key. The engine coughed, spluttered, and finally roared into life. Next stop, Paris. Or maybe just the car boot sail in Sitcom. Mange tout, Rodney. Mange tout. Chapter 18, The Market's Cold Shoulder. Monday morning in Peckham Market was a sensory assault. The air was a thick soup of diesel fumes, frying onions from a nearby burger van, and the desperate cries of stallholders trying to offload items that had clearly fallen off the back of a very fast-moving truck. Rodney stood behind a makeshift table, shivering in a thin coat. He was holding one of the electronic personal organizers. He looked about as comfortable as a penguin in a sauna. Go on, Rodney. Give M the patter, Dell urged from the safety of a nearby tea stall. Don't just stand there like a Statue of Liberty with a hangover. Sell the dream. Rodney cleared his throat. Step up, everyone. Organize your life. With this plastic thing, it has a clock, and it beeps. A woman in a tracksuit stopped and looked at the device. Does it have a camera? No, Rodney said honestly. Does it have the internet? No. What does it do then? Well, Rodney struggled. If you forget what day it is, you can press this button and it will tell you, provided you've set the date correctly, which is quite a complex process, to be honest. The woman walked away. Shaking her head, Dell stormed over, his face redder than a ripe tomato. Rodney, what are you doing? You're not selling a funeral, you're selling the future. Look, watch the master. Dell grabbed an organizer and held it aloft. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Are you tired of carrying around heavy books? Are you tired of losing your place in your diary? Introducing the Trotter 2000. It's used by astronauts. It's used by international spies. It's so secret that even the government doesn't want you to have won. A small crowd gathered. Dell's eyes sparkled. It's got a high-definition liquid crystal display. It's got a built-in alarm system to warn you of approaching birthdays. And for today only, because my brother here has just been made managing director and he's feeling generous, you can have it for a tenner. A tenner. A man shouted. I can get a real one for a $5 down at the pound shop. Ah, but does the pound shop one come with a lifetime guarantee from Trotter's independent traders? Dell shot back. And does it have the emergency beep function? I think not. The crowd began to disperse. Rodney sighed. Dell, it's no use. People aren't stupid. They know a piece of junk when they see one. Junk, Dell whispered, horrified. This is vintage, Rodney. It's retro. We just haven't found our target market yet. We need a specialist buyer. Like who? A museum for failed inventions. No, Dell said, a slow grin spreading across his face. I know exactly who. Boyke. Chapter 19, The Strategy Meeting. That evening, the living room of Nelson Mandela House was converted into a high-level boardroom. Rodney was sitting at the table with a notepad, trying to look professional. Raquel was in the kitchen, and the distant sound of Damien playing a video game provided a soundtrack of explosions and digital screams. Right, Rodney said, tapping his pen. Meeting of the Board of Directors. Item 1, the debt. 48,754 pounds. Item 2, assets. We have 200 broken umbrellas, 50 fake shock absorbers. and 199 electronic personal organizers. One broke when Dell sat on it. It didn't break. Dell corrected from the armchair. It just redistributed its components. It's an exploding view model. Very educational. Whatever, Rodney sighed. Dell, we need a real plan. We can't keep selling junk to the neighbors. We're going to get evicted. Dell leaned forward, his voice serious. Rodney, I've been thinking. As the managing director, you need to think big. We don't need 100 small deals. We need one huge deal. A deal that will wipe out the debt in one go. And what is this deal? Rodney asked, wary. I've been talking to a bloke called Nervous Nick. He's got a lead on a consignment of, well, it's high-tech equipment. Not more organizers? No, it's medical equipment. Laser-guided, state-of-the-art diagnostic machines. Rodney stared at him. Medical equipment. Dell, you don't know a laser from a light bulb. And where would we sell medical equipment? The private sector, Rodney. Private clinics. I've already made a few calls. I've told them we're an international consultancy specializing in healthcare procurement. You told them what? Rodney stood up, pacing. Dell, this is fraud. We're going to end up in the nick with Mike. It's not fraud. It's creative marketing. Dell shouted back. And besides, we're doing the world a favor. We're bringing down the cost of health care. We're practically saints. You're practically a lunatic, Rodney yelled. I'm the managing director, and I'm saying no. No lasers. No clinics. No Nervous Nick. The room went silent. Raquel appeared at the door, a spatula in her hand. Is everything all right in here? Everything's fine, sweetheart, Dell said, his voice dripping with fake calm. Rodney's just having a bit of executive stress. He'll be fine once he's had his tea. Rodney slumped back into his chair. I can't do this. Dell, I'm not a businessman. I'm just Rodney. Dell walked over and put a hand on his brother's shoulder. No, you're not just Rodney. You're a trotter. And trotters never give up. We'll find a way. Prove. Kushti. Chapter 20. The Ghost of Millionaires Past. Later that night, when the rest of the flat was asleep, Dell stood on the balcony, looking out over the flickering lights of Peckham. The wind was cold, but he didn't feel it. He was thinking about the yacht. He was thinking about the taste of the expensive cognac and the feeling of the sun on his face in Barbados. He missed it. He missed the respect. He missed the way people looked at him when he had money in his pocket. Now, they just looked at him with pity, or worse, they didn't look at him at all. If only Mom could see us now, he whispered to the night. He remembered the promise he'd made to her on her deathbed. He'd promised to look after Rodney. He'd promised to make something of themselves. And for a while, he'd done it. He'd reached the summit, but the fall had been long and hard. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the £1 coin from the Gold Rush show. He flipped it in the air and caught it. Heads, we're back in the money. He muttered, tails. Well, tails, we just try harder. He looked at the coin. It was tails. Dell smiled. That's my boy. Always playing hard to get. He turned back into the flat, his mind already spinning with new ideas, new angles, new ways to turn the world in his favor. Because Derek Trotter wasn't just a salesman. He was a survivor. And as long as there was a deal to be made, a story to be told, and a brother to argue with, he was exactly where he belonged. Good night, Peckham, he said, closing the balcony door. Sleep well, because tomorrow the Phoenix is going to do some shopping. Chapter 21, Meeting Nervous Nick. The rendezvous point was a derelict garage in a part of Bermondsey that even the rats avoided. The air smelled of damp cardboard and secrets. Dell adjusted his camel hair coat, trying to look like a high-level procurement officer rather than a man who had just spent his last tenner on petrol. Rodney followed, his eyes darting toward every shadow. Dell, I really don't like this. Nervous Nick is called nervous for a reason, usually because he's about to be arrested. He's just high-strung, Rodney, Dell whispered. Genius often is. A man emerged from behind a stack of rusted oil drums. He was twitching so violently that his glasses were barely staying on his nose. This was Nervous Nick. You got the money? Nick stammered, his eyes scanning the empty street. I've got the backing of a major international syndicate, Nick, Dell said, patting his empty chest pocket. But first, we see the gear, the lasers. Nick led them to a crate covered in a greasy tarpaulin. With a flourish that sent his head flying, he pulled it back. Inside were rows of sleek, silver cylinders with blinking red lights. There they are, Nick whispered. Laser guided, high precision, straight from a high-tech facility in the north. Rodney leaned in, looking at a cylinder. Dell, these look like industrial barcode scanners. Shh, Dell hissed. They're diagnostic tools. Rodney, diagnostic. Nick, how many have you got? 50 units. Take him now for $5,000, and I'll throw in the cables. Dell looked at Rodney, his eyes wide with greed. Rodney, at $5,000, that's only 100 quid a unit. We sell 'em to a private clinic for 500 each, and we've wiped out half the debt in a weekend. Dell, we haven't got $5,000, Rodney cried. We have, if we use our contingency fund, Dell said, avoiding Rodney's gaze. You mean the money Raquel was saving for Damien's school uniform? It's an investment. Rodney, Damien will have a uniform made of gold by the time we're finished. Chapter 22, The Master's Pitch. Boyke sat in his garden, a glass of expensive-looking champagne in one hand and a cigar the size of a small tree in the other. He looked at Dell and Rodney as if they were a particularly unconvincing set of garden gnomes. So, Derek, Boyke drawled, his voice a nasal symphony of condescension. I hear you've been appearing on television. A very moving performance. I especially like the bit where you lost 50,000 pounds because you didn't know your classics. It was a technicality. Boyke, Dell shot back, trying to keep his cool. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about show business. I'm here to offer you a piece of the future. He opened a small briefcase to reveal one of the silver cylinders. Boyke leaned forward, squinting. And what exactly is this? A very expensive pencil case. It's a laser-guided pathological scanner. Boyke, Dell said, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Straight from the R&D labs in Switzerland. It can detect anything from a common cold to a midlife crisis. Boyke picked it up, weighing it. It looks remarkably like a checkout scanner from a supermarket in Croydon. That's the clever part. Dell beamed. It's built into a familiar casing to prevent patient anxiety. High tech. Low stress. These are going to be in every private hospital in London by Christmas. I've got the exclusive distribution rights. Rodney cleared his throat. Well, technically, Trotter's Independent Traders is the sole procurement agent. Boyke let out a short, sharp laugh that sounded like a seagull choking on a chip. Healthcare. Derek, you can't even diagnose a leak in your own radiator. I'm talking about the margins. Boyke, Dell urged. 30% return in 30 days. Guaranteed. Boyke put the cylinder back. I'll tell you what, Dell, I'll take 10 of them. At 100 quid each. Not a penny more. Dell's face fell. 100? Boyke, I paid more than that myself. Then you're even more of a dipstick than I thought, Boyke said, standing up. Now, if you'll excuse me, Marlene is calling. We're having a very expensive lunch. Chapter 23, The Laser Reveal. Back at the flat, the living room was filled with silver cylinders. Rodney was sitting on the floor, surrounded by instruction manuals that were written entirely in what appeared to be simplified Chinese. Dell, Rodney said, his voice trembling. I found the translation for the model number. Dell, who was busy trying to buff the Made in China stickers off the cylinders, didn't look up. And, does it say precision medical tool? No, Rodney said, standing up. It says industrial poultry sexer. Dell froze. A what? A poultry sexer. Dell, it's a laser tool used in high-speed chicken factories to determine if a chick is a boy or a girl. Dell stared at the cylinder in his hand. He pressed the button, and a tiny red laser beam shot out, hitting a picture of Uncle Albert on the wall. But it's laser-guided, Nick said. Nick is a conman. Dell, we've spent Damien's uniform money on 50 machines that tell you if a chicken is a rooster. The silence in the flat was absolute. Then, from the hallway, came the sound of Raquel's keys in the door. Oh, no, Rodney whispered. Dell, if she sees these, She's going to sex us both with a rolling pin. Quick, under the sofa, Dell hissed. They spent the next 10 minutes frantically shoving silver cylinders under the furniture, just as Raquel walked in. "Hello, boys," she said, looking around suspiciously. "Why is everything moved? And why is there a red dot on Uncle Albert's nose?" It's a new security system, sweetheart," Dill said, sweating. "Trotter Tech Security. We're testing the perimeter." Raquel sighed. "Dell, please tell me you haven't bought more junk." "Junk? Raquel, this is the future. Chicken. I mean, security is the future." Chapter 24, Domestic Turbulence. The fallout from the laser deal was swift and painful. Raquel discovered the cylinders within 48 hours, mostly because the cat had learned how to trigger the lasers, turning the living room into a low-budget disco. 50 poultry sexers. "Derek," Raquel yelled, her voice echoing through the tower block. "We could have bought Damien a new wardrobe. We could have paid the rent for 3 months. It's an emerging market, Raquel," Dell pleaded, cowering behind the armchair. "The organic chicken industry is booming. Everyone wants to know the gender of their poultry." Rodney was no help either. He had taken to wearing his Spartacus tunic around the flat as a form of silent protest. "If anyone needs me," Rodney said, walking through the kitchen with a wooden spoon, "I'll be in the Coliseum or the local job center." "Oh, shut up, you tart," Dell snapped. "I'm working on a pivot, a business pivot." He retreated to the balcony, the one place he could think. He looked out over Peckham and saw Boyke's Mercedes driving past far below. He knew Boyke was laughing at him. He knew everyone was. But as he looked at the silver cylinder in his hand, an idea began to form. It was a crazy idea, a stupid idea, a Trotter idea. "Rodney," Dell shouted, bursting back into the room. "I've got it. We don't sell M to farmers. We sell M to the entertainment industry." "The what?" "Laser tag, Rodney. We market M as pro-level laser tag kits for high-end corporate away days. We tell M it's a tactical training tool used by the SAS." Rodney looked at the poultry sexer. He looked at Dell. For a second, a spark of the old madness returned to his eyes. Tactical training for corporate away days? Exactly. Trotter Tactical. It's a new branch of the company. Chapter 25. The Phoenix Prepares to Fly. It was Friday night at the Nag's Head. Dell stood at the bar, a silver cylinder tucked into his waistband like a futuristic weapon. "All right, Trig," Dell said, nodding at his friend. "All right, Dell, what's that on your hip? A fancy new torch." "It's a tactical marking device," Trig, Dell said, winking. "Standard issue for the elite squads. I'm organizing a tournament next weekend. 20 quid an entry. Winner gets a bottle of my finest champagne." "Sounds dangerous," Trigger said, looking impressed. "Can I be the referee?" "You're hired." Del beamed. He looked across the bar and saw Rodney talking to a group of young city types who had wandered in from the more gentrified parts of town. Rodney was gesturing wildly with an electronic personal organizer and a silver cylinder. And the beauty of the Trotter tactical system, Rodney was saying, his voice filled with newfound confidence, is the haptic feedback. It's so precise, it's practically clinical. Del watched his brother and felt a surge of pride. They were back in the game. They weren't millionaires, yet they weren't even thousandaires, but the wheels were turning. The yellow van was still outside, the debt was still there, and they were still the Trotters. "I'll fetch the suitcase from the van," Del whispered to himself, a small, knowing smile on his face. Because in Peckham, the seasons might change and the tides might turn, but a Trotter always has one more card to play. "Mange tout, Rodney," Del muttered, raising his glass of cognac. "Mange tout." Chapter 26, The Peckham Open. The communal hallway of Nelson Mandela House had been transformed into what Del called an urban combat theater. In reality, it was a collection of empty cardboard boxes, discarded washing machines, and several miles of yellow tactical tape that Del had acquired from a confused road worker. "Right then, listen up," Del shouted, standing on a crate of bottled water. He was wearing a headband made from an old tie and a camouflage vest that was clearly 3 sizes too small. "Welcome to the inaugural Peckham Open. This is where the men are separated from the boys, and the boys are marked for life by high-intensity poultry sexing technology." The participants were a diverse group. There was Trigger, wearing a high-visibility jacket for no apparent reason, Denzel, who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else, Mickey Pierce, who had actually brought his own camouflage face paint, and 3 bewildered accountancy students that Rodney had lured in from the local library. "The rules are simple," Rodney added, trying to maintain an air of professional authority despite the Spartacus tunic he was still stubbornly wearing. "If you get hit by a laser, you're out. The scanner will emit a high-pitched beep to signify a confirmed mark." Actually, one of the students noted, the device is emitting a chirping sound and the screen says "pull it." "That's a tactical code," Del interjected quickly. "Pull it means point under lethal laser engagement target. Now, let the games begin." He blew a whistle, and the hallway erupted into chaos. Trigger immediately took cover behind a recycling bin and accidentally scanned himself, resulting in a series of frantic beeps that informed the entire floor he was a great cockerel. Chapter 27, Friendly Fire. The battle raged for 30 minutes. Mickey Pierce was surprisingly agile, diving over boxes and tagging anyone who moved. However, the machine's original programming began to interfere with the combat simulation. "Del," Denzel yelled, pinned down behind a sofa, "my gun keeps saying I'm underweight. It won't fire." Shake it, Denzel. It's the haptic feedback calibrating. Dell yelled back while trying to flank the accounting students. The chaos reached its peak when the hallway door opened and an elderly neighbor, Mrs. Jiddings, walked in carrying a bag of shopping. "Excuse me, Derek," she said, looking at the camouflage-clad men rolling around on the floor. "The lift is broken again." "Not now, Mrs. Jiddings," Dell hissed, peeking out from behind a washing machine. "Can't you see we're in the middle of a high-stakes tactical exercise?" Suddenly, a red laser dot appeared on Mrs. Jiddings' forehead. Mickey Pierce had made his move. The device let out a triumphant chirp. "Target identified," Mickey shouted. "Confirmed mark." Mrs. Jiddings looked at the screen of Mickey's device. It says ready for slaughter. What does that mean, Derek? "It's a metaphor, Mrs. Jiddings," Rodney cried, running over to apologize. "It just means you've won the round. Congratulations." He frantically gestured for everyone to stop. The first Peckham Open had officially descended into a neighborhood relations disaster. Chapter 28, The Boyke Intervention. I must say, Derek, a familiar, mocking voice drawled from the entrance. The Sats really have let their standards slip. Boyke was standing at the edge of the theater, leaning against the doorframe and looking profoundly unimpressed. Beside him, Marlene was stifling a laugh. "Ah, Boyke," Dell said, standing up and trying to look dignified while covered in dust and tactical tape. "Good to see you. We're just finishing up a demonstration of the Trotter tactical system. High-level stuff. We've got interest from several private security firms." Boyke walked over to a discarded poultry sexer and picked it up. "And how exactly is this supposed to secure anything other than a local supply of eggs?" "It's the psychological impact, Boyke," Dell insisted. "The red dot, the chirping. It strikes fear into the hearts of the enemy. It strikes fear into the hearts of anyone with a basic understanding of electronics." Boyke laughed. "I'll tell you what, Dell, I've got a lot of scrap metal at the yard. If you want to dump these there, I'll give you a $5 for the lot." "A $5? Boyke, I've got 30 entries at 20 quid each. That's 600 pounds in one afternoon." "Minus the cost of the tape," Rodney whispered, "and the repairs to Mrs. Jiddings' dignity." "Ignore him," Dell snapped. "The phoenix is rising, Boyke, whether you like it or not." Chapter 29, The Accounting. That night, the flat was quiet. The cardboard boxes had been cleared, and the poultry sexers were back under the sofa. Rodney sat at the table with the gold Rush 1-pound coin, spinning it slowly. 600 pounds, Dell, Rodney said. "It's a start, but we still owe over 48,000. Dell sat across from him, sipping a glass of cheap brandy. He looked tired, but the spark in his eyes hadn't faded. "Rome wasn't built in a day, Rodney, and the Trotter Empire won't be rebuilt in a weekend. But we're moving. We're trading." I was thinking about what you said on the balcony. Rodney said, about Mom. Do you really think she'd be proud of us? Rolling around in a hallway with chicken grating machines? Dell looked at the picture of their mother on the mantelpiece. She'd be proud that we never gave up Rodney. She knew what it was like to struggle. She knew that sometimes you have to be a bit creative to survive. He reached out and stopped the coin. It was heads. See, Dell smiled. The gods of commerce are smiling on us again. This time next year. Millionaires, Rodney finished for him. This time, he didn't say it with a sigh. He said it with a small, cautious hope. Chapter 30, Final Reflection. The yellow van sat in its usual spot outside Nelson Mandela House, a defiant splash of color against the gray concrete. It had survived the crash of the 90s, the loss of millions, and the indignity of being used to transport 50 poultry sexers. Inside the flat, Raquel was putting Damien to bed. Cassandra was finally laughing about the policewoman incident, and Dell was already planning a trip to a car boot sale in Margate. Life in Peckham wasn't easy. The bills were high, the lift was always broken, and the dreams were often larger than the reality. But as the sun set over the tower blocks, Derek Trotter stood on his balcony one more time. He felt the weight of the rings on his fingers and the history of his family in his heart. He knew the world would keep turning, the seasons would keep changing, and the tides would keep coming in. Kushti, he whispered to the night. He turned back inside, ready for whatever tomorrow would bring. Because a trotter is never truly defeated. They are just preparing for the next big deal. And somewhere in the mystery of where it all comes from, the suitcase was already waiting in the van. Part 2, The Berman Siebling. Chapter 31, The Arrears and the Anguish. The following Monday dawned with a sky the color of a wet sidewalk. Del Boy sat at the breakfast table, staring into the middle distance, while a solitary piece of toast grew cold and stiff. The bankruptcy was no longer a fresh shock. It had become a dull, aching tooth. Rodney, Del said, his voice barely a rasp. Have you seen the latest from the water board? They're threatening to cut us off. They say our usage is excessive for a bankrupt household. Rodney walked in, fastening his tie. He was wearing his managing director suit, the one that fit a little too snugly in the shoulders and smelled faintly of mothballs. Del, the usage is excessive because you keep leaving the hot tap running to steam your silk shirts. We're supposed to be living within our means. Steam is essential for a professional appearance. Rodney. Del snapped. How am I supposed to secure international contracts if I look like I've just been pulled through a hedge backwards? Raquel entered the kitchen, holding a letter. Her expression was the one Del usually associated with an impending thunderstorm. Del, the bank. They've sent back your check for the nursery fees. It's marked refer to drawer. That's a technical error, Raquel. Del said quickly, standing up. I spoke to the manager only yesterday. He's a big fan of the show. He was probably just confused by the influx of capital. What capital? Del, Raquel asked, crossing her arms. The 40 pounds you made selling vintage umbrellas to the local primary school. It was 60 pounds, Del corrected. And it's a start. Now, don't you worry. I've got a meeting today. A big one. Something with a real sparkle. Chapter 32. A call from the past. The meeting was at the Nag's Head, which was currently serving as Del Boy's auxiliary office. He was sitting in the corner, nursing a half pint of Sid's cheapest lager, when the payphone in the corner rang. Sid looked over and nodded toward Del. It's for you, Derek. Sounds like Gentleman George. Del's heart skipped. Gentleman George was a man whose nickname was almost entirely ironic. He had been a semi-professional jeweler in the 70s, specializing in items that had a tendency to change ownership without the benefit of a receipt. George, Del said, grabbing the receiver. How's the world of precious stones treating you? Del boy. George's voice was like gravel in a blender. I've heard you're looking for a way back to the top. I've got something. A retirement stash. Unregistered, unpolished, and currently sitting in a vault in Soho. Diamonds, Del whispered, his eyes widening. Better. Industrial diamonds. The kind they use in high-precision cutting tools. But these are special. They're high clarity, almost gemstone quality. The owner is a man who needs to liquidate his assets quickly before he moves to, let's say, a more tropical climate. And the price? 10 grand, for a lot worth at least 50. But I need an answer by tomorrow. And I need a broker with a cleanish record. Del looked at Rodney, who was currently trying to fix the jukebox by kicking it. I've got just the man, George, my managing director. He's got a GCEs and a brain like a diamond itself. We'll be in Soho by 3. Chapter 33. The Soho Connection. The Reliant Regal didn't so much drive to Soho as it groaned its way there, leaving a trail of blue smoke and disgruntled taxi drivers in its wake. Del, if this is another Nervous Nick situation, I'm resigning, Rodney said, gripping the dashboard. Diamonds. In Soho. This has Interpol written all over it. Rodney, you have to think like a mogul. Del yelled over the roar of the engine. This is how the big boys play. We buy the raw material, we find a cutter, and we sell the finished product to the elite. It's the circle of life. It's the circle of the exercise yard at Wormwood Scrubs. They arrived at a nondescript office above a shop that sold adult magazines and very specific types of leatherware. The sign on the door said H. Diamond, Gemological Consultant. Inside, the room was dimly lit and smelled of stale cigar smoke. A man with a face like a crumpled map and a suit that cost more than those van sat behind a massive mahogany desk. This was Diamond Harry. So, Harry said, his voice a smooth tenor, "You're the Trotters. I've heard you're creative. I like creativity. It's what built this city." He reached into his desk and pulled out a small, black velvet bag. With a practiced motion, he tipped the contents onto a white cloth. The stones were small, dull, and looked remarkably like pebbles from a driveway in Lewisham. "There they are," Harry said. "Raw, unrefined potential. 50 units of the finest industrial-grade diamonds available in the Southeast." Chapter 34. Diamonds are a broker's best friend. Rodney leaned in, squinting at the stones. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a jeweler's loop that Dell had bought from a car boot sale in 1989. "Dell," Rodney whispered, "I'm not sure. They don't sparkle." "Of course they don't sparkle, you tart," Dell hissed. "They're raw. You have to cut them to get the fire. Harry, my managing director here, is a specialist. He's checking the clarity." Harry watched Rodney with an amused expression. "Go ahead, son. Check the refraction. Check the density." Rodney held a stone up to the light. His GCEs, one of which was in art, were being pushed to their absolute limit. He remembered a documentary he'd seen on the Discovery Channel about diamond mining. The crystalline structure seems consistent, Rodney said, trying to sound like a man who spent his weekends in the vaults of De Beers. "But what about the provenance? Can we see the certification?" Harry let out a short, sharp laugh. "Certification? Son, if these stones had certificates, they wouldn't be 10 grand. They'd be 50. You're buying the opportunity, not the paperwork." Dell stepped forward, his rings gleaming. "We understand the risks, Harry. We're traders. We live on the edge. Give us 24 hours to assemble the capital." "You have until midday tomorrow," Harry said, sweeping the stones back into the bag. "After that, they go to a buyer from Antwerp, and he doesn't ask questions about GCEs." Chapter 35. The Valuation. Back in the van, the atmosphere was electric with a mixture of greed and terror. 10 grand, Dell, Rodney cried. "Where are we going to get 10 grand? We haven't even got 10 pounds for the congestion charge." "We've got the tactical money from the tournament," Dell said, his mind racing. "And I can sell the rest of the poultry sexers to a contact in the Highlands. He says they're great for grating salmon. That's only a few grand. We're still 7 short." "I'll talk to Boyke," Dell said, his jaw setting. "Boyke, he'll want a pound of your flesh for every tenner. He'll want a piece of the action. Rodney, he's always wanted to get into the diamond trade. He's got the vault. He's got the contacts. We bring him in as a silent partner." "Boyke, silent?" Rodney laughed. "He'll be telling everyone from here to Marbella that he's the Diamond King of Peckham before the sun goes down." "Let him talk," Dell shouted, swerving the van around a bus. "As long as he provides the readies. We're the brokers, Rodney. We're the brains. This is it. This is the big one. The Bermondsey bling. As they rattled back toward Nelson Mandela House, Del Boy looked up at the gray London sky and saw only a glittering field of diamonds. He could almost feel the weight of the £1,000,000 check in his hand. Mange tout, Rodney, he whispered. Mange tout. Chapter 36, The King of the Car Lot. Boykey's residence, the Chestnuts, stood as a monument to 80s aspiration and questionable architectural choices. It was the kind of house that didn't just have a gravel driveway. It had gravel that was polished daily by a man who was terrified of Boykey's laugh. Del and Rodney stood at the front door, Rodney checking his reflection in a brass knocker that was shaped like a lion with an identity crisis. Remember, Rodney, Del whispered, straightening his tie. We're not begging. We're offering an unprecedented investment opportunity. We're the conduits of wealth. The door was opened by Marlene, who was wearing a tracksuit that had enough sequins to blind a low-flying pilot. Del, Rodney, come in. Boykey's in the library. He's currently reading a catalog of solid gold bidets. They were led into a room filled with leather-bound books that Boykey had clearly bought by the yard. Boykey was sitting behind a desk, looking like a man who had successfully privatized his own soul. Derek, Rodney, Boykey drawled, not looking up. I assume you're here about the poultry sexers. I've had 3 complaints from the SAS. Apparently, the haptic feedback turned out to be a short circuit that gave Mickey Pierce a permanent twitch. Ignore Mickey, Boykey, he's high-strung, Del said, sitting down uninvited. We're here about something much more. Refined. Diamonds. Industrial grade. High-clarity stones from a private vault in Soho. Boykey finally looked up, a flicker of interest behind his cold, calculating eyes. Diamonds, you say. And let me guess, you need a small capital injection to secure the lot? We need $7,000, Boykey, Del said, leaning in. For a 50% stake in a lot worth $50,000. Guaranteed return in 30 days. You provide the vault and the cash. We provide the expertise and the Soho connection. Boykey let out a long, nasal whistle. 50%, Derek, for $7,000. You must be even more desperate than the water board thinks you are. It's a partnership, Boykey. Del insisted. The Bermondsey Peckham Syndicate. Think of the prestige. I'm thinking of the profit, Boykey said, standing up. All right, Derek, I'll provide the cash, but I want 60%. And if this goes south, I'm taking the yellow van as collateral. I've always wanted a mobile chicken grading facility. Del swallowed hard. He looked at Rodney, who was staring at a globe on the desk. 60%. Boykey, that's highway robbery. Take it or leave it. Derek, the Antwerp buyer is waiting. Del took a deep breath. All right, 60%. Deal. Chapter 37. A Highland Fling. The final $3,000 was harder to come by. Dell had spent the entire morning on the phone to a man in the Scottish Highlands named Big Angus, who owned a salmon farm and a very large collection of kilts. Angus, my old friend, Dell shouted into the receiver. I've got exactly what you need. 50 state-of-the-art diagnostic marking devices. Perfect for grading salmon by weight and gender without even touching them. It's the organic revolution. Gender of a salmon. Derek. Angus's voice boomed back. Why the hell would I care if a fish is a laddie or a lassie before I smoke it? Market segmentation. Angus. You can sell gentlemen's smoked salmon for double the price. It's a niche market in London. Every high-end deli in Chelsea is screaming for it. And they're laser-guided. Laser-guided and haptic responsive. You'll be the king of the lock. 2 hours of frantic negotiation later, and Angus had agreed to buy the remaining poultry sexers for £3,000 provided Dell could get them to the freight depot by sunset. Rodney, get the van, Dell yelled, slamming the phone down. We're heading for the depot. The Phoenix is about to do a bit of fly fishing. They raced through the streets of Peckham, the yellow van leaning dangerously as they took corners. The 50 cylinders were rattling in the back like a frantic silver percussion section. Dell, what if Angus finds out they're for chickens? Rodney shouted over the wind. By the time he finds out, we'll be diamond moguls. Rodney, we'll buy him a whole new lock. Just keep driving. Chapter 38, The Soho Shakedown. The midday sun was beating down on Soho as the Trotters and Boyke, who had insisted on coming along to protect his investments, stood outside the office of Harry Diamond. Boyke looked like a man who was allergic to anything that didn't have a manicured lawn. This is it, Derek? Boyke asked, looking at the adult magazine shop. Your International Gemological Center looks remarkably like a fire hazard. It's about discretion, Boyke, Dell whispered. High-value deals don't happen in the window of Selfridges. They climbed the stairs and entered Harry's office. The air was even thicker with cigar smoke. Harry looked at the suitcase Boyke was carrying with a predatory grin. The capital? Harry asked. 10 grand. In used 20s, Boyke said, placing the case on the desk. But before we open it, I want to see the stones, and I want them verified by my own expert. He nodded toward Rodney, who pulled out the jeweler's loop with a trembling hand. Harry tipped the bag onto the cloth. The 50 stones tumbled out, looking as dull and unimpressive as before. Rodney picked one up, his heart pounding. He looked through the loop. The crystalline structure is still consistent, Rodney said, his voice cracking. It's definitely diamond. Or at least, it's not plastic. Good enough for me, Harry said, grabbing the suitcase. He handed the black velvet bag to Dell. The stones are yours. The Antwerp buyer is going to be very disappointed. He who dares wins, Harry. Dell beamed, clutching the bag to his chest. As they walked back down the stairs, Boyke was already calculating his 60%. I want these in my vault by 5, Derek, and I've already contacted a cutter in Hatton Garden. We start the process tomorrow. Peckham's finest, Boyke. Dell laughed. We're back. Chapter 39. Glass or Class. The Hatton Garden workshop was a cramped, brightly lit room filled with the sound of grinding wheels and the smell of industrial lubricant. The cutter, a man named Mr. Levy, who had seen more diamonds than a Belgian bank, sat at his bench, looking at the 50 stones. Dell, Rodney, and Boyke stood behind him, their breath held. So, Mr. Levy, Boyke said, his voice dripping with anticipation. What do we have? High clarity. Gemstone potential. Mr. Levy picked up a stone, looked at it for 3 seconds, and then let out a sigh that seemed to last for a lifetime. What? Dell asked, his smile faltering. What is it? These stones, Mr. Levy said, placing the pebble back on the cloth. They are indeed industrial-grade diamonds. Very high clarity, as you said. See, Dell shouted, slapping Rodney on the back. I told you. But Mr. Levy continued, they are a very specific type of industrial diamond. They are spent diamonds, recovered from the bits of heavy-duty tunneling machines used in the construction of the Channel Tunnel. Spent? Boyke asked, his voice rising in an octave of pure dread. Yes, the heat and pressure of the drilling has caused internal fractures at a molecular level. They are practically worthless. If I tried to cut them, they would simply disintegrate into dust. They are only good for being ground down into abrasive powder for sandpaper. Sandpaper, Rodney whispered. The lot is worth maybe 50 pounds for a very large box of high-quality grit. The silence in the workshop was absolute. Even the grinding